think we're going to go ahead and get started. Make sure you can all hear me. Here we go. All right. So, on behalf of the Independence Chamber of Commerce and the City of Independence, welcome to First Friday. The rain finally stopped, so fall weather is ahead. Before we get started, I want to thank our business sponsor this morning. Our business sponsor is Enbridge, and as our business sponsor, they paid for the great muffins and fruit and hot coffee from Annie Mae's. So at this time, would you please welcome back to Independence a previous speaker at First Friday and the Community Relations Advisor for Enbridge, Brent Rush.
Thank you. Being the political season, I know you don't want to hear a long speech, so I'll keep it short. Just want to thank all of you for allowing us to do this and sponsor and be part of the community. And no real major updates on my viewpoint from Enbridge. We're out here doing a lot of actually safe community grants. I've been working on in Kansas for our emergency responders. Every year, every emergency responder up and down our right-of-way around our pipelines are eligible for up to $1,000. So we help them with equipment that they need. We've funded everything from kind of the basics for a fire department to drones have been the big thing this year. So having a good time going out and presenting these checks to folks. And I'm here if you have any questions about our pipeline operations near you. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention 811, call before you dig. I get yelled at if I don't say that in every presentation. But it is good advice, not only around our pipelines, but anytime you're doing any work, be sure and call that number. It's fast and can save you a lot of headache later on. So appreciate the opportunity and thank you.
Thank you, Brent. We appreciate your sponsorship and your support of our community. So, those of you who are new, can everybody hear me? I feel like this is not projecting. Okay. So, if you're new in the room, First Friday is an opportunity for us to get together once a month. It's open to the public. It's co-sponsored by the City of Independence. And it's just a way for us to share information, good, accurate information with the public. So speaking of information, we always have a lot going on in the community. The Chamber tries to be the central hub of information in the community and is always trying to find creative ways to get that information out to everyone. And we have one of those new ways on your table. Mandy actually designed this table tent that we're distributing out into the community. Main Street is helping us get those out and about as well. So here's what's on there. We will change these out every single month. There will be a condensed calendar on one side. On one side, we will feature an event that's happening in our community. So this particular month, we are showcasing Niwala, of course. And on the third side, it talks about all of the festivities or all of the festivals that are in our community are listed on there so that the people that are coming into our community as visitors and for tourism reasons will know all the reasons why they should return to the community. These table tents are in almost every downtown store and most of the banks downtown and in many of the restaurants and in many of the hotels. So if you have a business that has a lot of traffic and you would like to be on our distribution list, please let us know and we will get one out to you next month when we get those out into the community. So let's turn your program over. We always do this. There's lots of great information on a calendar on the back side of your flyers, so make sure you take those flyers home with you. You can also get the information off of our website and our Facebook page. It's called Get Independence if you haven't liked it yet. So let's talk about a few of the highlights. Of course, Niwala headquarters is open for business. We'll hear about that in a little bit. It is also National 4-H Week. I want to give a shout out to 4-H, all the kids that are involved in 4-H and all of the adults that support 4-H. 4-H is the nation's largest youth organization empowering over 6 million kids being involved in the United States, so that's pretty impressive. FedEx is doing an event today at Jefferson School from noon until 6, and they are raising awareness for different organizations. In the past, they've raised food for the food pantry. They've raised items for AWOL, and this time they're raising items for the Independence Science and Technology Center. So they have car number 11, NASCAR race car, is out at Jefferson. Be there at noon until 6. You can go out and get your picture taken and donate to the Independence Science and Technology Center. We have a home game tonight. It's Cancer Awareness Night. So we will be playing El Dorado at kickoff at 7 o'clock. So wear your pink and go out to the football game. There's also a production at ICC this weekend from Friday and Saturday at 7:30, a matinee at 2 in the afternoon on Sunday, and it's The Skin of Our Teeth, so you want to check that out. On Saturday is the community cleanup at 21st and Maple, so load up your cars and your trucks and clean out your garage and your property or your neighbors, and help us clean up the community. That will be from 8 until 3. Between 8 and 3, if you get hungry, you can go to Mikey's from 11 to 1. They're having Customer Appreciation Day tomorrow. I think it's hamburgers and hot dogs and fountain drinks, so you'll want to check that out. Zulaween is tomorrow evening. And what's cool about Zulaween is that's an event it's over by the zoo. It's by Monkey Island. And it's an event for all the kids to dress up. And all of the civic organizations and clubs have championed little stations. So it's kind of like trick-or-treating early for the kids in a safe environment and a fun environment. But what's really cool is I checked Facebook this morning. And on our Facebook page when we posted that, we have over 15,000 views on that and almost 300 shares. We usually have at least 1,000 kids out there. So Barb Bershkin's park staff, champions this effort with some community volunteers, so we're expecting a big turnout for that. Kansas Works is here to speak to us about an upcoming job fair. Senior Movie Day is a day where if you are a senior, you can go to the Independence Cinemas on the second Tuesday of every month for free at 10 o'clock in the morning and check out a classic movie. And this one is going to be The Ghost and Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts, so that should be funny. And then speaking of ghosts, there's going to be ghost stories in the park next week on Tuesday as well. And you can go out at the enclosed 4-H building. There's a professional storyteller that will be out there. It's completely free, but they're asking for donations to AWOL, so you can get out for that. Main Street is sponsoring Good Morning Main Street. It's a new event that they are having on a regular quarterly basis at 7:30 in the morning for all the downtown retailers. And this particular subject is going to be Newalla, Survive and Thrive. So I encourage all of you retailers to check that out. The City Commission will have a meeting next week. The library is having a family event, and it's called STEAM, Family STEAM Night. STEAM is an acronym for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. So that will be at 7 o'clock at the library. And then next Saturday, we'll have another cleanup. We're going to clean up our downtown in preparation for Newalla. So we're asking for volunteers to show up at the parking lot of CMB at 8 o'clock. We'll clean for 2 or 3 hours and get everything all spiffed up and ready for Newalla. There will be a debate, not a debate, it's more of a candidates forum on the 18th between those individuals running for Kansas Senate District 15 and House District 12. That will be at the museum starting at 6 o'clock. CRMC Medical Group is hosting Pinkoween. That is an event on the 20th out at ICC West. It's free. You must RSVP because they're going to provide us with a great meal. But it's all centered around cancer awareness as well, so that should be fun. And the Cops and Rodders dropped off their flyer and told us they will be having their 7th annual car and bike show the day of the Grand Parade, obviously not obviously, but it's always in the AutoZone parking lot, so you want to check that out. And finally, a couple of things. Put it on your calendar for November the 5th. Save the date to get your flu shot. They will be having the flu shots available starting at 9 o'clock until they run out in the Oval. And you can bring a canned food item as your contribution for the free flu shot. So that's what's happening in Independence. Absolutely nothing. Always lots of things going on. If we missed something, we have something wrong, be sure and let us know. If we missed something, let us know. We'll get it added on there. We do a community calendar that runs on 2 channels, twice a day on 3 radio stations, and we do some live radio spots. And so there's lots of ways for us to get information out to the public from you if you'll just give us that information. Before we get started, I want to recognize some businesses who have reached some significant milestones. I always say that when we celebrate, or when you celebrate, we celebrate right along with you. I have no way of knowing who all is celebrating unless I see you celebrating, and then we kind of jump on board and help you with that. So I mentioned last time that Terry Trout was celebrating 5 years of ownership with Annie Mays, and here recently, Newton's True Value did a big celebration out at their location for 4 years of business and independence, but 92 years of family business in Cherryville. So wanted to give them a shout out. Also, our new neighbor across the street, Doug Parham's Bakery, haven't celebrated yet, but I wanted to tell you this because they're celebrating 30 years. And when I was talking to Doug about that, he told me that over the weekend of the 100-mile highway sale, they did 30% more business on that day than any of their days at their previous location in 30 years. So I think the move was a good move. I think the chamber is helping to support their financial success, too. And this is also the second anniversary of First Friday. So hard to believe we've been doing this for 2 years now. But topping off the celebrations, we are celebrating a real estate agency receiving a significant milestone. George and Julie Isley, owners of Midwest Real Estate, are celebrating the company's 40 years of providing real estate services to the city and the surrounding area. Please welcome George and Julie as we present them with a plaque from the Chamber of Commerce, the City of Independence, the Montgomery County Action Council, and thank them for being a part of the business community in Independence and serving Southeast Kansas since 1976. After we take the picture, Julie's going to come to the podium and make an announcement.
Well, Independence has been home to Midwest Real Estate for the last 40 years. And to commemorate this milestone for our business, we have chosen to give back to Independence. We really love this community, and we believe strongly in giving back. After careful consideration of many worthwhile projects, we have chosen to fund the next community orchard. And we look forward to serving Independence for the next 40 or more years. Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations again. And thank you for that contribution. It's exciting, isn't it, Gary? Yeah. Orchard number 2. All right. So on your table, don't forget to fill out the comment cards. That's how we get all the great suggestions for all these great speakers that come every month. And we are ready to start. So our first speaker is our 2016 Newalla Generalissimo. Please welcome Stacy Yakshaw.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here today. I'm just going to go over some new things because everyone is familiar with the Newalla schedule. We kick off with the musical Disney's Little Mermaid. If you have not bought your tickets, do so. We've sold over 1,000 tickets already to the show, so Sunday is filling up quickly. If you want to go to the show on Sunday, you need to go down. We have great costumes and great sets. We've actually rented a lot of the costumes, and we bought a lot of the sets, and it's just a fantastic show. Can anyone tell me who Sebastian is? I'll give you a hint. He's from ICC. He's a student. How about Prince Eric? Anybody know who Prince Eric is? Okay. Anybody know who Ariel is? Megan Moore. You get a set of tickets to the musical. It's for pair tickets. Okay. By the way, Sebastian is Maurice House, and Brad Gray plays Prince Eric. This year we have 25 queen candidates, and also this is Queen Nila the 75th. So we have a bunch of past queens coming, and Newalla has provided them with the float. And when I asked how many, I was assuming 15 or so. We're up to 30 past queens coming. So I need to call Jim and make sure the float's big enough. So we are very excited for them. They are coming to have breakfast with their past Generalissimos, and then they're riding the float. We have 12 that are sitting together on coronation evening, and then some individual queens are going to be sitting with their families. So look for them at the Newalla during the grand parade as well. We have some new food stands I wanted to share with you. My Noodles Express with obviously egg rolls and things like that. Ragin' Cajun is new with bourbon chicken and stuff. Big G's Food Service, which is fried alligator and fried chicken and fried cheese. And then we have Wild Goose, which has deep fried Oreos, cookie dough, Snickers, cheese on a stick, everything fried. So check out some of the new food stands this year. Saturday for the Grand Parade, we are going to only hang the parade lineup in Neowalla headquarters. We are not printing it out this year. It will be available on Neowalla website. So just look at Neowalla websites, neowalla.com. You can get all kinds of information there. If you have not been on that site, just go visit the site, see who's coming and what's going on. And if you, for your business, would like any brochures, stop by headquarters or give headquarters a call. Someone will run them down to you. We do have our posters out as well. They should be showing up in businesses this week. So if you need a poster, the same. Call headquarters. Someone will run one down to you or stop one off. This year, for Saturday night, for the professional show, yes, we have a professional show, although it's not at the hall. Neowalla is kicking back, inviting you to kick back as Neowalla gives back with the help of our platinum sponsors, First Oak Bank and Labette Health. They are sponsoring the bandstand, and we are bringing Alaska and Maddie in. They are season 6 finalists on The Voice. And they will be on the bandstand at 8 o'clock Saturday night. And their opener is Michelle Knopick. Michelle is a local girl. She won Miss Talent a few years ago. And she lives in Nashville, and she's coming back to open for Alaska and Maddie. It's going to be a great show. I hope everyone comes down to see it. And I hope the weather is good. Perfect, for us. And I just have a couple of teasers real quick. And I was wondering, does anyone know who the first female Generalissimo was? Was that right? Wasn't it Cass Bruning? Yeah, the board. Those are available at headquarters. Lisa, if you'll show those real quick. Those are available at headquarters. They are only, I think they're $8. So they're very, very nice gift. Can anyone tell me, Lisa, be ready, who our current queen is? These are available at headquarters as well. And this one will be the T-shirt. And can anyone tell us what the first musical was? It was Picnic. Okay. Okay, I'm good. Again, thank you. If you need anything, come by headquarters. You can call me if you want. I might be able to help you. And check out www.neowalla.com. Thanks again.
Thanks, Stacy. Okay, so Lisa, you got a big sparkly shirt on down there. They've got some cute shirts. Lisa's got a sparkly Neowalla shirt that they're selling down there. I've got one, except, Stacy, can you still get this? Okay, they're reordering, I think, these. These were popular, so you'll have to get out and, there you go. Mandy's telling me to turn around. Okay, so our next speaker, it's a duo today. They are coming to us from Kansas Works. They provide a much-needed service in our community from two different perspectives, from the individuals who are looking for work to the employers who are needing workers. So please help me welcome Lacey Bohr and Melissa Johnson from Kansas Works.
Good morning. As Lisa said, I am Lacey Bohr. I am the Business Service Representative for Southeast Kansas Works here in Independence. I am going to talk about the job fair, but I wanted to just give a brief overview of some of the services that we can provide for some of you who don't know. We cover 5 counties here in this office. So we have Montgomery, Elk, Chautauqua, Wilson, and Labette counties. And all of our services are free, so free to the employer and free to the job seeker. Some of the services that we can provide for employers specifically is we have our free job listings, and I can do all the work for you if you'd like. So if you're hiring, give me a call, and I can list your openings on our website, and I monitor those as well. We also provide, sorry, can y'all hear me? Okay. We also can offer hiring events. So we've got a couple of different local businesses who come into the office about once a month and do local hiring in the office. And then we've also got some opportunities to provide some training dollars back into your company as well. And if you would ever like a more in-depth brief overview of what our services are, you can give me a call. I've got some of my cards on the table, and we can meet and talk a little bit more in depth about some of the things we can do. On the job seeker side, we provide, as always, resume and cover letter assistance. We do mock interviewing. We can do some retraining on some of the high-in-demand career fields. And then, as always, we just have the standard job search. And anytime you are needing our assistance, you can come into the office. We don't require appointments. Someone at the front desk can assist with any of those things. So we've got a couple of really exciting things coming up that our office is involved with, and one of those things is the job fair. So the job fair is next Tuesday on October the 11th. It will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the first hour is going to be reserved for veterans only. So it will open for general public directly after at 10 a.m. We're asking that job seekers come dressed for success and bring a resume. If you don't have a resume, we are going to have the Kansas Works mobile unit parked right out in the Circle Drive, and they'll assist with writing resumes as well as printing and making copies of resumes. We'll also have the mobile vet unit, and they'll be here to talk a little bit more about some of the veteran preference services that we can provide in our office. We are currently have about 6 employer booths left. I'd love to get those filled. So if you've got openings in your company, give me a call. Or we've got flyers and my cards are over there as well, 332-5904. And I can get you registered so we make sure that you can get in. I think that's all I have. I'm going to let Melissa talk a little bit more about some of the opportunities we have for young adults in our office, as well as our youth summit we're going to be holding in conjunction with the job fair.
Thank you. Good morning. My name's Melissa Johnson, and I'm the Youth Program Director for Southeast Kansas Works. In addition to some of the services that Lacey has already discussed, we also have some specific programs available for young people between the ages of 16 and 24. Now, when we have the job fair next week, we're also going to be sponsoring a youth summit here at the Civic Center. And the youth summit is going to give young people an opportunity to preview some of those services that we have available. We're going to have several guest speakers talking to the youth about in-demand jobs in our area. We'll also have an opportunity for them to come out and visit with the local employers that are participating in the job fair. In addition to that, we'll have some speakers talking about some of the training opportunities that are available at the local community colleges in our areas. We're going to be providing free lunch to the youth participants, and space is limited. So if you know of any young people who would be interested in attending, please have them contact our office and we can get them registered for the event. Now, in addition to the services that Lacey has already talked about, we also have specific services for young people who might be undecided about career opportunities. Some of the things that we can do is help them with career research. We can have them take a couple of different personality profiles to determine what their likes and dislikes are, and then give them some suggestions about careers that might be a good fit for them. In addition to that, we offer workshops. We also have paid work experience opportunities and on-the-job training opportunities. And if they feel that they need additional skills to be successful in the workplace, they can attend workshops that are designed to help them develop their soft skills, or we can even pay for formal training in the classroom. So that's just a brief overview of some of the services that we have available for young people. And again, if you have additional questions, please feel free to contact us at the office. That number again is 332-5904. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great information, and thanks for doing that for our community. All right, so next we have one of the coaches from Independence Community College. You know, I talked to Tammy Heldenace and told her we'd really like to get the coaching staff involved in the community and make those faces more familiar to all of us. And so I think we've had Bo Schultz has been here. Jason Brown, the coach of the Pirate football team, has been here. So up next is the head coach for the Lady Pirates volleyball team. Please welcome Danielle Pena.
Hello. First of all, I would like to say that it's an honor for me to be here and present about our program. We have the next four home games on October 20, 24, 26, and November 1st, which is our sophomore night and also Pink Out night. So if you guys would like to come and join us on those dates, it starts at 6:30 at Field House. As a volleyball coach, our first commitment is to serve our community by doing travel volleyball, which is girls that want to play a club for one season during the winter time and during the first months of the spring. And also to host volleyball camps. My dream is to have a volleyball school available for those that don't have the amount of money to pay for that kind of expenses. I am a native from Venezuela, and I am glad my mom took me to practice volleyball 14 years ago, because that changed my life, that built up my character, and that has been a really changing experience for me and my family as well. So I want to have the opportunity to give it to those kids that are out there and that want better chances for their lives. And that's what sports is about. Sports is not about winning. We see that every commercial on TV, that sports is just about winning, about being better than someone else, but it's not. Former head coach, Argentinian head volleyball coach, he just qualified his team to the Olympic Games in Rio, and it was a big step for the Argentinian team after being out of the LA volleyball for more than a decade. This guy, what he was talking about after accomplishing this was, hey, we don't care about being in the first place, because we know our expectations have to be more realistic. And I think that's what, as parents, we need to know when we take our kids to sports, when we are having them involved in a sport community. It's not just about how many wins or how many losses they have. It's about, are they building their character? Are they coaches being honest as they are asking them to be honest? Are their coaches talking to them the way they are asked to talk by conference rules? That kind of thing, being consistent. And that's one of the things I really try to encourage my players, is just being consistent. It's not just about how good you are, but how often can you do good things. That's one of my challenges as a coach. I graduated 2 years ago from Oklahoma Wesleyan, and I'm 25 years old. And for me, being as a really young coach, I have to learn a lot from the coaches that we have at ICC, which I think they're very experienced. I try to learn how they manage their teams, how they go after wins, how they plan ahead, they recruit people. And it's just a learning experience that is just a lot more than just numbers. So please, if you have the chance to come to our games and be part of it and watch our girls performing on the court and just meet with them and know the team as just, it's just a blessing to have the opportunity to work with young people and to be part of the future of this country, and as well as people that's coming from overseas to actually get an education at ICC, which is a really high number of kids. I am guessing that is about 20 international kids that we're hosting at this moment. So it's not just the impact that we're having in our community, but the impact of that community impacting the kids that are coming from overseas and taking what they are seeing here in Independence, take it to Japan, take it to Italy, take it to Venezuela, to Mexico. So those are great things, and we have the opportunity to be part of. I just want to let you know that our home games will be 20, 24, and 26 of October, and then November 1st. Please come out if you can. Thank you very much.
Okay. Everybody get those dates. Daniela, we're going to come to some volleyball games, we promise. There's 80, 90 people in this room, so If half of us go out there, we're gonna make quite an impression on your team. So, all right, thank you for coming, and welcome to Independence. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk recycling. Recycling's been going on now in Independence for 9 months, and it's going very, very well. Mike Passeur is doing an amazing job out at 21st and Maple on the first Saturday of every month. From the day it started until just most recently on October the 1st, it is a well-oiled machine if you have not experienced recycling. He and his staff do an amazing job. And I tell you, not a Saturday goes by that we don't receive, as a community, tons and tons of compliments out there from the people who pull up and don't even have to get out of their car. Volunteers come to their trunks and their back seats and unload everything for them, and are very appreciative. And it's just been a great experience for our community, and I think it really is a value-added program to Independence. So before we have a few of the participants in recycling come up and visit with you, I want to give you some numbers. So we've been doing this, like I said, for 9 months. We have had, if I add up everybody who came, we've had 1,470 people come to recycling. That's an average of between 60 and 70 people on that Saturday bring their recyclables. As far as weight of things that we're keeping out of the landfill, we have kept out over 68,000 pounds of recyclable materials out of the local landfill. And when you talk about cost, there's always a cost associated with that. The cost is very minimal when you talk about what we're doing for our earth and for the community and doing the right thing. If you take the labor and the fuel minus the landfill savings, the average cost on a monthly basis is about $130 to the City of Independence to be able to provide that service to our community members. We did have one major investment, and that was a $4,000 trailer. That's not been factored into this, but we did need to have a trailer to be able to do that. So we're appreciative of that as well. So anyway, I want to thank the city for sponsoring recycling. The Chamber is proud to be a partner in that, and I want to thank our monthly volunteers that help us with that. If you're interested in ever volunteering, you can just call the Chamber office. We'll get you on any month you want to come out from 8 until noon, and it's actually a really great time. So with that, I'm going to invite to the podium Jody Hayes, who is going to give her perspective on recycling.
Good morning. It's good to be here. I drove in from traveling last night about 11 o'clock, and it's when you hit the city limits of Independence, it's like home, right? It's so good. Lisa asked me to talk just a little bit about why my family recycles and kind of why we appreciate this opportunity. Dean and I started recycling about probably 5 years ago, and so back then, what that meant was gather up all your stuff and drive to Fredonia and unload it and drive yourself home, which was fine and it was doable. But we were so excited when we got the opportunity to recycle here in Independence. My top 5 reasons why I personally love the recycling options here in town. Compared to not recycling, my trash volume has decreased by 1/2 to 2/3 just by recycling. It is amazing when you haul that can out to the curb on Saturday morning, how much less is in that trash can because we're recycling. So it's very visibly noticeable. Of course, I kind of love not having to drive to Fredonia because the reality is, even though you have these great intentions of going like once a week, the reality is it looks more like once every couple of months and kind of starts to pile up if you've got any number of people in your house. I really love feeling like I'm getting the opportunity to do something that makes a difference. There's a lot of big ideas and big issues out there, and I think sometimes it's easy to feel like I can't really do anything about all of those kinds of issues, but I can make a difference in my community by just recycling and not throwing away stuff that could be reused and recycled. As long as you sort as you go, it's really easy, and it's really not any more work to recycle than it is to throw it in the trash can. And last but not least, it makes you aware of really how much you're consuming and how much you're throwing away. So it really kind of raises your own awareness of the footprint that you're leaving on this planet. I volunteered a couple of times at recycling. It's a great way to spend a morning. I highly recommend it, especially if you like to watch your fitness and get your steps in there. Some of the things I've noticed, excuse me, people really do love the opportunity to come and bring their recycling, especially folks who have moved here from other locations. They've come to expect that in many other cities kind of out there, and so it really says a lot for our community that we're offering that. We really are keeping a lot out of our landfill, and people, I think, like me, like the opportunity to do the right thing. And I volunteered on Saturday and really noticed as I visited with some of the folks who brought their recycling, it's another social connection for folks. It's really kind of an interesting thing to watch as you see folks who have kind of worked this into their monthly schedule. They bring their recycling and visit with the volunteers. It's lovely. So I think mostly the reason I love recycling is that it really does show that our community is focused on the future as opposed to the past.
Thank you, Jody. And Jody has, like she said, she's volunteered a couple of different times, and she's one of those volunteers that if it weren't for those individuals, we wouldn't be able to provide that service. So next up is a recycler that we love to show up because recyclables are not always the most fragrant materials when they show up. And at some, in the summer months, it would get a little stinky in there. And we loved it when Brian and Ryan would show up with the Magnolia cardboard because it was literally a breath of fresh air. So please welcome Brian Height.
Yes, our trash smells good. You're welcome, Lisa. Yeah. I don't think I can express how important recycling is to me and as an individual and as a business, but I'm going to try. My family goes back 4 generations in Independence on the European side, and on the Native side goes back, hundreds of years. And there's something that I've learned from my ancestors, and that is stewardship. From the farming community, always making sure that you're doing resource management. From the Native community, making sure that everything is used, nothing's wasted, nothing gets thrown away. And, as we launched our business, that was one of the key factors that we considered, making sure that everything that we do at Magnolia has a minimal carbon footprint. We want to make sure that we're using our resources as efficiently as we possibly can. And that's, up until recently, that's always been a bit of a challenge because obviously the materials that we put into our products are as natural as they can be with minimal manufacturing. We do the best we can to source those efficiently, but we also had trash. We're not just a retailer, we're also a manufacturer, and so there was a lot of cardboard going out the back door, a lot of fragrance oil bottles, that's the good smell stuff. And other things that go into our manufacturing processes that were being taken to the landfill. And so twice a week, we would have several bags of trash that were being taken to the landfill. And that never did jive with our commitment to being a green company. It didn't work. So having this opportunity in Independence has kind of allowed me to fulfill my promise to my customers that we are doing everything that we possibly can to be good stewards of our resources. It's kind of interesting because, I'm talking about recycling, but some of the things that we do to be a green company, I've never bought shipping materials. I've never bought packing peanuts. I've never bought the bubble wrap. Everything that we ship out of that store in the small packages that we ship all over the country, we use recycled shipping materials. So things that come in the store in shipping containers get shipped back out of the store in those same containers. And we have little stickers that we put on the boxes saying, sorry for the ugly box, but we wanted to reuse it instead of buying something new. Our glass is manufactured in the United States from recycled materials. Our soy wax that we use in our candles are grown by soybeans grown by American farmers so they don't have to be shipped nearly as far from around the world. These are just the little things, the decisions that we made. And so now having the ability to recycle things that would have been put in the landfill is major for us. We now only put out 1 bag of trash a week. So we've reduced our output by probably close to 80% just in our little business. And we're not very big. Just think about all of the other businesses in town. If they were doing the same thing, think of the savings for dumpster removal. Think of the savings for the trash going into the landfill. So the bottom line is it's good for business. Not only can I deliver on my promise to be a good steward, but I can also actually count money that's being saved just from our little business. But just imagine, what if the big restaurants that were really putting out lots of glass bottles and all that cardboard and everything, what if they were recycling as well? So, you know, it has a savings in the cost of removal, but it also has a benefit in that I use this in my marketing. I can tell people, it's all over our Facebook pages. Everything that we say, we always talk about how being a good steward is good for our company. And so we're able to pass that message on to our customers as well. So, not only is recycling something that's the right thing to do, not only is it something that makes you feel good, but from our perspective as a small business, it's also good for business. And so we greatly appreciate that the city has taken this on, and we greatly appreciate the volunteers that help it every month and help us unload our truckload of trash every month that smells good. And now I would like to issue a challenge to all of you. If any of you haven't done it yet, do it. It's posted everywhere. You can find the information. Call Lisa at the chamber or go to the chamber's website, and you'll be able to see all the things that are recyclable, and you'll be amazed. And do it. And I would also like to issue a challenge to take this a step further. Let's get so much volume going in the monthly recycling that we can make it make sense for the city to actually incorporate a weekly pickup at your home or at your business of recycling materials. I would love to see that happen, and I think that probably most of you here would love to see that too. So, thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Okay, so before we go into some city reports, I just want to thank Daniela Pena again for coming and speaking, and encourage everyone to come out and support the Pirate volleyball team on those dates that she mentioned. I want to congratulate Stacy on being the 2016 Newala Generalissimo. I'm sure she's going to do a great job, and encourage all of you to get your tickets. I was at a meeting last night where they did a musical teaser, and it was amazing. And they mentioned, again, the great ticket sales. So get your play tickets. And thank you, ladies, in advance for the job fair you're going to be putting on, and all the great work that you're doing to help the youth of our community as well. And to Jody and Brian, thank you for speaking on behalf of recycling, for always volunteering and helping out. And we look forward to what recycling will mean to the community and Independence. So if you've ever been to recycling, raise your hand. If you plan to recycle after today, keep your hands up. If you plan to recycle after today, put your hand up. Everybody, you better put your hand up. Okay, so we're going to move on. Thank you for that. We're going to move on to our city manager, Mickey Webb, who's going to give us a report from the City of Independence.
My time clock here. Appreciate the opportunity to speak. Talking about recycling, the city has started recycling, and the reason it started is because citizens expressed to the City Commission that you wanted us to do that, and we have responded to the City Commission. If you want to know, if you like the process that we're doing, you can thank the City Commission. We're doing it because they voted to do it, and I applaud them for that. But as far as who actually gets it done, there's volunteers that help, there are city staff that help, but the key member that gets it done and makes it happen and does it right and does it efficiently is Mike Passeur, and he's back here. Mike, stand up. The city has completed our move. I say completed, 99% complete of our move to temporary move to the 811 West Laurel. I'd like to also thank all the city staff to move everything like we did, essentially everything in 2 days, with everyone with a smile on their face. I think it shows the morale and the attitude of the city employees, which in my 31 years of being in city business, I have never had a staff that is more cooperative and more with a better morale and eager to take on the challenges of tomorrow than we have in the city of Independence at this time. And I have had a lot of good staffs before, but this is absolutely the best. And primarily because of the leadership that they have at the department level. The city does not really, most citizens do not understand the great thing they have in those leaders of those departments. And so I applaud all of them. We are finishing up with the installation of the 911 system, and we've also are completing collaboration with the county dispatch. I think that will be a great improvement in our 911 services. Both staffs can help the other when the phones start ringing more than they can handle. It will add to the redundancy of our system. I think you can see what's up there now. That's pictures of the 911 center. Future updates will allow for 911 text messaging and video streaming. New technology that will be able to be done here in Independence, among the first systems that will allow for that. Once it becomes available, we will have it. The main reason we were able to make all of this happen in such a short period of time, I know most of you probably think it was not a short period of time, but we moved a lot of IT systems to that new building, and it was because of the IT system that Mercy had left us. The value of that system just in that those 2 rooms was probably in excess of $100,000, and that's not counting all of the wiring that goes to all of the offices. So only because of that were we able to make that move happen as quickly as we have. The space will be shared now with our dispatch and also with Montgomery County Sheriff's Office dispatch, and I think that they'll be able to work better and certainly be able to communicate much better than we have in the past because they'll be right there together. Also, a great thing in the community, as most of you know, we had the groundbreaking for Labette Health Center. The facility expects to open in the spring of 2017. We'll offer emergency department, diagnostic services, observation beds, and medical clinic. It represents an investment by Labette Health in our community and fulfills a gap that our citizens have had, and I congratulate them, Brian Williams and his staff, for that great achievement that our community has made. We also have had some good news on the business front. We have had Kelly Aerospace Company, which is a company that works with Textron here locally. They have leased our what we call the Round Top. It has about 6 to 8 employees, and it does custom work for Textron. We also have another company that's got 2 or 3 employees, Departures. They also do work for Textron, and there's even we're dealing with some other potential businesses, spinoffs from Textron, and I would like to thank Textron for working with us to help attract those businesses. It's much appreciated. Also, I can tell you honestly that I don't know the status of the Amazon building. I purposely only want to know if I need to know, but from everything that I do know, it looks better than it's looked since it was vacated. So we're hopeful that that will end with some new jobs for the community. Also, there's a 250-job business that's going to be located in South Coffeyville, and I think that will do nothing but help our economy here in Independence. most of you have seen the new hotel, Comfort Inn, that's being built on West Main. Comfort Inn is the top-of-the-line choice product. If you are familiar with the Sleep Inn in Coffeyville, that is a mid-level of that chain. Comfort Inn is at the top of the line, so it will be a real asset to the community. It will offer 42 guest rooms and 14 suites, 56 total units. It'll employ more than a dozen people, and again, their anticipated opening is the spring of 2017. The city has received another premium reimbursement from our health insurance. You know, while most organizations have seen dramatic increases in their health insurance cost, the city has worked to keep that down. We got, I think it was $183,000 rebate last year, and we're getting almost $90,000 this year. And I think we still have about $200,000 in reserve. The premiums will be prorated based on who paid them. Of course, the city, for the employees, paid the biggest part of those costs, so the city will get rebated on a pro rata share, and each employee will get rebated their pro rata share. So that'll be something good for the employees. Construction of the temporary building is ongoing, and as you know, we're under the gun to get that completed. It is scheduled for completion in November. However, we expect that we will move in as far as getting our equipment out of the coal sometime this month. And that will be a building that will be heated and have secure access. The reason that we decided to do a metal building rather than the temporary tent building is what I call it, that they do in natural disasters sometimes, is because we anticipated that this could take some time before the final decision is made on where we end up. If we had gone the temporary tent route, we would have had about $200,000 every 6 months in lease cost. Plus, this building will be insulated, and those buildings are not very effective, not very efficient on utilities. So overall, we expect to save money with this choice, and also, if we decide that we're not going to stay in the temporary building, we will have some residual value that we can take to the sanitation yard, because the sanitation department needs a place where they can work on their trucks. The city is in negotiations with an engineering firm on the process to facilitate the evaluation by the committee that the commission is going to appoint. We're negotiating the scope of services, and I expect that's going to get kicked off very, very soon. Next week, we look forward to having students of the Upper Cut Boxing Group to tour our building. That's going to be set up next week, and we look forward to showing them the temporary city hall. I would like to give credit to the Park and Zoo staff, Barbara Burskins and her crew. This event that goes on tomorrow night was something that the employees out there came up with on their own, and it's become a tremendous success. And it just shows, again, that they're always looking for ways that they can better serve this community. And I think you can ask the kids, they really enjoy that program, and I salute them for that. Also on Saturday, we will have cleanup crews. It's our annual cleanup. This year, we will also have the downtown cleanup next Saturday. So we'll have 2 Saturdays in a row. We'll also have dumpsters placed throughout the downtown area, so that hopefully the business owners, the building owners that have storage in some of their buildings that it's non-compliance with our new minimum maintenance standards that become effective in January, will have an opportunity to unload that stuff before the ordinance becomes effective in January. I urge them to take advantage of that. They will be there both tomorrow and the next Saturday, so they'll have 2 Saturdays, the 8th and the 15th, in order to take advantage of that. Fire Prevention Week is this week, and our crews have been reaching out to the community on awareness of fire prevention. One of the leading champions for the prevention of education the past several years has been Chief Rusty Baker. This will be Chief Baker's first Friday before his retirement on November 1st. So it's an ideal time to recognize him for 25 years of dedicated service to the community. Rusty, would you stand? Also, in thinking about the things going on in the community, I'd like to thank Rusty Arnold for picking up the banner from Chuck on the stadium. I know that a lot of people had a different perspective on what should be done with that facility, but I think that what we've got is a great facility now. And most importantly, I salute the Board of Education for taking a stand, even going to court, to make things better. And it does take that kind of leadership, and so I certainly want to salute them for that. It's a great facility. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so we always end the first Friday with Q&A. So does anyone have any questions for any of our speakers? No questions? You all just did such an amazing job. There's no questions. Okay, so we also then turn it over and let you do some shout-outs from the audience. I know there are some people that would like to give some shout-outs about things that are happening in the community. There's a lot of important information on the flyer table over here that they will probably be speaking about, so make sure that you pass by that on your way out. So who wants to go first? Want to do it? April?
There are surveys on your table. I ask you please, please, please to participate. It's a housing survey. We can only go for housing grants if we complete what we call a housing assessment tool. We are working on that. Part of that is community participation and providing us back with information. So if you have not, many of you filled it out online. Thank you very much. But if you have not, please take just 5 minutes, complete it, turn it over, leave it laying on your table, and I'll pick it up after the meeting. Your participation in advance, because I know all of you are going to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so fill out that housing survey on your tables. Yes?
Yes, Montgomery County Central Committee is having a shootout. So on the 15th, after you finish at ICC's shooting competition, the other one in the afternoon, you can come north of town, and there'll be a fishing tournament and a shootout and a hayride for the kids in the evening. So mark the 15th.
Thank you. And is there information on the table about
Yes,
this?
there are
Great.
some flyers on the table.
Thank you. Mr. Farthing?
Next Thursday, the Independence Community College Choir and Jazz Band will have a concert at 7 p.m. at the Inge Theater.
Okay, next Thursday, the choir jazz band at the Inge Theater at 7 o'clock. We'll be having a concert. Great. Yes, Mike?
The Kansas Celebrity Hall of Fame is on the move. As a matter of fact, it's being moved to ICC West lobby, and it's about 50% done right now. We were invited by the college to locate out there, and they knew very much that we would be losing our space at the Independence Historical Museum and Art Center because new bathrooms and a new stage in the gallery are being built, and they're about 50% done. And so I think that's going to really make a great addition to not only the Kansas Celebrity Hall of Fame, but the Independence Historical Museum and Art Center. And I think the improvements at both places will be substantially done sometime in November. So.
Hey, thank you. Check that out at ICC West, and then when you come to the candidate forum on the 18th, you'll be able to see that new stage at the museum. Rusty?
We have a new thing this year for our high school students. One of the things that the Board of Education believes is that community service is really a big part of education for kids, that they need to learn to give back to their community. And so we're requiring students now to graduate with 20 hours of community service. It's part of their graduation requirement. This year's seniors need 5. But what I'm wanting to announce is if you have a need for someone to help with something within the community, a couple hours, hour, whatever it is that you need, please contact the high school and they will get you in touch with the teacher in charge of that, and we will try to get kids out there. Kids need the hours. A lot of them are very willing to work. They're great kids, and if you give them that opportunity, I'm sure you'd be pleased with what they'll do for you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we're going to be hearing from Mario at the high school some more about that. And Rusty's exactly right. I think the high school kids are helping with Zulaween, so they're already at work in the community. Great project. Anybody else? Okay, so before we wrap it up, I want to thank our business sponsor again, Brent Rush with Enbridge. We appreciate your sponsorship. Don't forget to take your community calendars with you, so grab your programs on your way out. I have a sign-up sheet right here for recycling. If you're interested in helping on any particular Saturday, you get to pick the Saturday. You just need to be there from 8 until noon. And be sure and walk by our table. It's full of all the flyers we talked about in the community announcement portion of First Friday, as well as a lot of other additional information. And I want to congratulate Midwest Real Estate again on 40 years of being in the real estate business in Independence. So have a great weekend. Happy Niwala.